Howdy folks, I'm That Literary Lady and welcome to another episode of That Literary Lady Instructs. Today I'm going to be instructing you how to create and utilize a Dropbox account. It's Dropbox, D-R-O-P-B-O-X, and you can find that at Dropbox.com. I am doing this video for everyone, but especially for Tammy in Greensboro. Tammy and her family are going through Ancestry.com to try to track their family's lineage, and she's found a lot of pictures that are so large that they can't be sent via email. So I suggested to her to use Dropbox. And Dropbox is an online cloud storage system solution that you can use to store files for very many reasons, of course, like the one I just mentioned for Tammy. Also, it's a good resource to use if you want to back up pictures or videos or certain files, just in case your computer crashes and you want an additional source of backup for your computer. Now, there are two sides of Dropbox, as there are with any service. There's a free side and there's a pay side. Of course, the free side has limited features that the pay side has, and you can very well pay for the service, and I'm not saying not to, especially if you want to back up your entire computer system. You can purchase enough space to do that on the cloud storage system. That way, if your computer does crash and you don't have any other means to back up your computer, you can always retrieve your files from Dropbox. But right now I'm going to talk about the free side, because if you're just utilizing it to store pictures where other people, you can share them with other people because they won't go through your email client, this is a perfect solution. And with the free side, I don't remember how many gigabytes they give you when you first start the account. I started mine a while ago, but we'll find that out in a minute when we go over to the video. But let's say, for example, when you open a Dropbox account, they'll give you, let's say, about a gigabyte of free space. As you invite people to view files in your Dropbox, they'll be given the option to join Dropbox. And as each person joins Dropbox, they will be joining under your tier per se. And each time someone joins, you get additional free space. And I think right now I'm up to 10 gigabytes, and that does more than enough than what I wanted to use it for. I don't use it to back up my entire system. I use an external hard drive, which I suggest to anyone to use. Even if you do use Dropbox, you want to have your computer backed up in more than one place in case the computer does crash or you lose all your files. But it definitely serves the purpose if I have a large file that won't go through my Outlook client, and I can send it to someone else and share it with them and other people. And also, if I want to back up my pictures, I have tons of pictures. Those of you who know me, I like to take pictures of everything. So I will store those on my Dropbox in case something does happen to my computer. I can just easily go online and access them. And then also another feature is that you can access the account anywhere you go. If you're at the library, if you're at a friend's house, if you're out of state, out of town, wherever the case may be, you can access those files from any computer on the internet. So let's go ahead and go over to the video and get started as I instruct you on how to create and utilize a free Dropbox account. Now, I want to say Happy Labor Day to everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Be safe and having fun. Please ignore the thunder, the loud thunder and the rain in the background. Here in Greensboro, North Carolina, it is raining cats and dogs, and it is very loud, and I'm praying that during this video that we don't lose power. If we do, I'll just do another one. But at any rate, excuse the noise in the background, and let's go ahead and go over to the video and get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Go ahead and point your browser to Dropbox.com. And I'm using Google Chrome. You can use Firefox, Mozilla Firefox, or you can use Internet Explorer. For the sake of this tutorial, we're going to go ahead and use Google Chrome. Once you get to Dropbox.com, this is what you'll see here. And you have a couple of options. Actually, you have a few options that you can choose once you get here. One, you can choose to watch the video, which I do suggest you watch, but watch it at a later time. You can download Dropbox. And then over here, even though it says sign in, this is where you would create your new account. But right now, let's go ahead and download Dropbox. Click on that button. And I'm going to download Dropbox onto my desktop. I already have it installed on my computer, but I'm going to show you how it's done. So it might say that it already exists, and I'll just override it just so you can see how it does. And just bear with me here. I'm using Camtasia Studios to record this tutorial, and many of us in this industry use it, and we all know that it can be a memory hog, and sometimes it'll make this tutorial go a little bit slow, so bear with me. So right now, Dropbox has downloaded. We still have to install it, so you go ahead and hit open, and then you run it. Now, the way you install and run it may vary depending on which internet browser that you're using, but this is how Google Chrome does its downloading and installing. And again, it may take a few seconds or a couple minutes because of Camtasia Studios. Okay, we're going on to the next step. Okay, and this box will pop up, welcome to Dropbox Setup, and you'll hit install. And you can see there as it starts to install. And it'll take a minute to install. It may the download time will, or the installation time will depend on your computer, whether your computer has enough memory, depending on your processor speed. It may take longer, or it may install faster. So it just depends on your particular computer and your hardware. Okay, so it's installed, and if you notice down here in the right hand corner by the clock, this little blue box appeared. That's your Dropbox folder. And so that's there. Go ahead and click on it, and you have a few options here. You can see open Dropbox folder, launch Dropbox website. Can you try to say Dropbox fast 3 or 4 times? You get tongue-tied. So right now what we're going to work on open Dropbox folder. Okay. So right now I'm going to delete this account in this folder, and I'm going to create it. Pretend like none of this is here. As I mentioned earlier, I currently have a Dropbox account. Actually, I have one for my business and one for personal use. So pretend like none of this is here. And when you get it, it's going to be pretty empty. The only thing that you're going to see basically is getting started. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new folder. And as I said earlier, this tutorial was inspired by Tammy, who is working on family files through Ancestry.com. So let's go ahead and title this one Tutorial for Tammy. So you see it there. And let's go ahead and open it up. So let's say, for example, I want to send Tammy some files that are too big to send her through email. So what I'm going to do is go to my desktop, and I have this Pay Now button or Pay Dues button, and I'll just slide it on over there. And actually, I'm going to put it back here. I'm going to show you something. Actually, the best way to do it is copy and paste it into the folder. The reason why you don't want to cut and paste or drag it over, once you cut and paste or drag it, which is the same thing as cutting it, and let's say Tammy opens the folder on her end and she accidentally deletes it, or she takes it completely out of the folder and puts it on her hard drive, you will no longer have access to that particular file. You'll have to have Tammy send it back to you. So you don't want to do that. You can send separate files, photos, anything. You can separate files, or you can send entire folders. You just copy and paste. Remember, do not cut and paste. Copy and paste. Okay, so we have the dues button in Tammy's folder. And this is a shameless plug for us Toastmasters members. Dues are due by September 31st. So go ahead and get your dues in. Okay, from here we're going to go back down to the blue box, which is in your lower right hand corner, and we're going to click on it once more, and we're going to launch the Dropbox website. And this is going to go to my personal account. As I stated, I have a couple accounts with Dropbox, and you can see a lot of folders that I have in there. And remember, in the Dropbox folder, which is here, we created the new folder called Tutorial for Tammy. So we're going to come over and we're going to look for that particular folder, and there it is right there. Now, 2 things to remember in this column right here where it says kind. Whenever you see something that says shared folder, that means that you're already sharing it with someone. If you see where it just says folder, that means that it's a private folder and you've not shared it with anyone as of yet. What you're going to do to share that folder with Tammy is you're going to right click on that folder, and this box is going to come up. It says copy, move, rename, delete, download, get link, or invite to folder. Well, I want to invite Tammy to this folder, so I'm going to click on invite to folder, and I'm going to put Tammy's email address in. Click on it there. And let's say I want to send my husband because he is her sister, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So now I've invited both Tammy and Greg to the folder, and I'll put a message here, and it's optional, but this is a test for your tutorial. Whatever you want to put in there, just put it in there. Now remember this part right here. It says allow members to invite other people. If this is checked, that means if Tammy wants to share this with other people in the family, she can just add their name to this list and they can share it. But let's say it's something that I want just for Tammy's eyes only. I will uncheck this box. That way she can't share this folder with anyone else. But for this sake, since it's ancestry and it's a family thing, I'll go ahead and allow it. And then you would click on share folder. And you're going to watch two things happen. Up here it says the shared folder tutorial for Tammy has been created. Down here it says joint shared folder. The shared folder tutorial for Tammy is now in your Dropbox, and you can click to view it, and you don't have to really. So now what's going to happen, Tammy and Greg are both going to get an email saying that I've invited them to view a shared folder on Dropbox. Now, I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the tutorial on the video portion, that if Tammy and Greg are not members of Dropbox, if they decide at that point after they've gotten that file to go ahead and join Dropbox and open a Dropbox account, by them doing so, I will get more space on my free Dropbox account. So that is so cool. More space for free. We like free. I definitely like free. So that folder is in there. Now, there's another way that you can share your particular files with people. Let's say you don't want to go through the hassle of emailing people the folder and all that. You can actually, let's say you want to share a link via Facebook. You have a Facebook group or a Facebook page, and you have files from a book signing or a conference. You can basically click on Tutorial for Tammy. Actually, I'm sorry. Right-click on Tutorial for Tammy, and that will come up. Now if you notice, it doesn't say invite to share folder. It says now shared folder options because it's already being shared. So go ahead and click get link, and if this is tied to your Facebook page, you can automatically either one, email someone a link in the email without actually emailing the entire folder, or you can actually send a link directly to your Facebook page that people can click. Now mind you, anyone on your friends list will be able to open that link because you've shared it on your Facebook page. Same thing goes if you send that link to Twitter. Anyone that is on your Twitter account or following you can actually open that. So be careful if that's not what you intended. Don't click either of these. So let's say you do want to share it with a friend on your Facebook page, but you don't want to share it with all your Facebook friends. What you would do is copy the link, and it says link is copied to clipboard, and I'm going to go ahead and open my Facebook page here. Bear with me here. Let's go ahead and open my Facebook page, and let's say I want to send this secretly to Greg. So I'm going to click on Greg, and I'm going to send Greg a message. So in the message, I'll just clip the Dropbox folder. That way when he signs on to Facebook and gets his messages, he can just click on that link and it'll take him to this folder with this page in it. So there are very many things that you can do with Dropbox. Again, you can choose to use the pay side of Dropbox, and they will give you as much space as you'll pay for. And in some cases, I know people who actually back up their entire computer using Dropbox. And that allows them to access that from anywhere. They can be out of town, at a conference, at the library, somebody else's house, and they can log on to their Dropbox account and access their entire computer and all their files. So this is just a brief tutorial for Dropbox. I try not to make my tutorials go too long because they can become a little boring. But as I get more and more the hang of doing this, and not sounding so dry and so boring so I don't put you to sleep, I'll make them longer and more educational. But again, this was inspired by Tammy. She needed help in sending large files for pictures for the family. So there you have it. If I didn't cover anything and you have any questions, please email info@thatliterarylady.com and I will go ahead and answer your question or answer it in the form of a video tutorial. Again, I'm That Literary Lady, and this has been episode 2 of That Literary Lady Instructs. Thank you. Have a great day.